Good afternoon, everybody. Joe Pound Martin Millett here. Hope you're going well. Got my hair done a few weeks ago thanks to the great people in Shoreditch at Total Barber Cut. Even though it's a trainee barber, it cost me nothing. So shout out to them. I was doing a bit of travelling last month when I went back to the Middle East for a few days on the way to Eritrea, and then I had to go back to the Middle East, go back to Europe and back home to London. So I want to talk about my experiences with Jazeera Airways. There are a bunch of airlines based in Kuwait. I pretty much just fly from Kuwait to Eastern Europe, and as well as South Asia and all over the Middle East. I don't think there's any flights that do go to Africa. I think maybe they have a flight that goes to Cairo. But basically it's like a hub in Kuwait. And it's like the budget version of, let's say, Kuwaiti Airlines. It's not the national airlines, it's basically Kuwait's version of a Jetstar in Australia, or a Ryanair in Europe, or an EasyJet in Britain. So, the one thing that annoyed me was they would charge about €8 to check in online, even if this was 24 hours prior to my flight. Now I know with airlines like EasyJet, Ryanair, you can avoid paying this fee if you just check in within 24 hours prior to departure. But Jazeera Airways had to be a really big stuff up and basically say, no, I'm going to go charge you £7 for this flight that's departing in 20 hours time from Budapest to Kuwait. So I just thought to myself, well, there's no point in wanting to pay €7 because it's going to cost me, what, €5 to get to the airport. And I'm eventually going to spend probably €7 at the airport eating that overpriced food while I wait for my flight to Kuwait. So I have to do it the old-fashioned way. Now, in all my recent times of flying the past year or so, I have never ever really had to check in at the airport, except for when going to Tunisia or Tel Aviv. Pretty much just most countries I've gone to have basically just had like an online boarding pass. You basically just check in online, use your mobile phone to check into your flight, get your boarding pass on your phone, make sure your phone is fully charged before you leave, and that you got enough power to board the flight. Which is quite a convenient thing for me because I don't like waiting around having to check in for flights. I would rather just have a boarding pass on my phone, whiz through security, go to the lounge, go to the cafeteria, wait for my flight. So, long queues and people going to Kuwait and on to other countries, get my boarding pass, and they don't really ask me anything else about what I'm flying to next, which is fair enough. But then, in Kuwait, in 2 days' time, I couldn't check in online for this flight to Jeddahh. I already had my e-visa in hand. I always have my visas ready, even though they're not really physically in my passport, because e-visa is basically just a piece of paper which saves your passport being taken up by a large sticker. So I just get in, and then the woman is like, well, where's your flight going out of Jeddahh? So I have to go scroll up my phone, I'm going to say, look, there's my flight back to Rome in a few days' time. And then she's basically just looking at my visa, and her management is basically saying he can get a visa on arrival in Saudi Arabia. And I've already done this. I've already paid £80 sterling for the e-visa, which I've used to get into Saudi Arabia from its land border with Bahrain, and I've used it to get back into Saudi Arabia. And the funny thing was, when I landed in Jeddahh, the border officer didn't really look at my visa. Basically just gave me the paper back and basically stamped my passport, and that was it. It seems like it was linked. But this rude manager from Jazeera Airways was like, so you got any conditions? I was like, yeah, of course. I've got a medical condition. I have to carry medicines with me. That's my pituitary glands don't work. I just thought to myself, this person probably thought I didn't really look too well. But when you are constantly traveling every few days, you do look really shit. No offense.